to solidify, and this thing is ice. This is ice, pure ice. For those who wonder if milk can be ice, there it is. This milk is ice. Yeah, the milk is ice in nature. Yeah. Welcome back, my good people. Yeah, remember, if you're new to this channel, remember to subscribe to Lumumba Junior so that we can keep on educating ourselves. So today I'm going to talk about 3 key topics. Yeah, one of it I'll talk about how to use a milk cooler. The other topic that I'm going to discuss is about spoilage of milk. And last topic I'll talk about is milk adulteration. I'll go step by step so that we can enjoy this topic, so that we can really appreciate the effort that I'm making for you guys. Remember, I'm on benchmarking. Yeah? Once you hear about benchmarking, I'm benchmarking where I used to work. Now I've just visited them so that I can tell you everything about the entire thing. Yeah? Let me start by showing you milk rise from. Yeah? You can see those animals there. There is where we get our milk. After getting our milk from those animals, we bring them here so that we milk them. Yeah? After milking our animals here, we weigh our milk here. Here is where we have our weighing scale. Yeah? Because when you see the video that I was just presenting you people about milking, you will see we have to weigh milk here. When weighing this milk, we usually pour the milk on those cattle in that gallon. Yeah, you can see that gallon that is being dried here. We usually put milk inside here. Remember, milk from the cow enters here. After milk enters here, we now pour. After weighing, we put the milk here. After putting that milk here, it's when that we now put it in the milk cooler. So this is our milk cooler for today. Yeah, like now we have some milk inside here. Yeah, this is our milk cooler. Here it is. I'll just open it so that you people can appreciate the entire thing. Yeah? This is the milk cooler, or the milk chiller. Yeah, this is an Indian made milk cooler. You can have a look at it. Here it is. Yeah, this is the entire milk cooler. It has been connected from the electricity. Yeah, with the electricity there. Yeah, there is the place for turning. That is the switch for on and off. Then the wire goes. Let me show you the back of this cooler. Yeah, this is the back of this cooler. We have a fan here. Yeah, this fan is just to keep this place cold, because you remember this is a machine. Yeah? It has something. It is being run by motors with the entire thing. You can now see we have a small motor here. This is a small motor here. Then we have this wire passing through here. I won't explain any physics about these. Remember, guys, I told you I've learned really a lot about everything, about animals. This just hinges. When we open there, this is what it behaves like an hydraulic. It goes down so that we can it goes down there. We open it there freely. Now this is our milk cooler. The way you can see here, we can really appreciate, like now temperatures here are these 9 degrees Celsius. Remember, when cooling, let me explain thing about. So when we are cooling our milk, remember, cooler has temperatures of between 2 to around 4 degrees. The reason why we are having now the 9 degrees Celsius is because of this. They have now stopped milking. They have just put freshly milked milk inside here. So for this temperature to climb until to achieve the 2 degrees Celsius or the 4 degrees Celsius, it needs time. So that's why, as per now, we have the 9 degrees Celsius. When we open this cooler, sometimes you can get some ice inside there, because remember, that's why I'm calling it a cooler. So the reason why this milk is cooled is just to prevent the growth of bacteria. Because once the milk is cool, no more bacteria can grow there, so that means this bacteria will be deactivated, and being deactivated, so that means they won't be able to grow in that kind of temperatures. So with that, we will make sure that this milk can't spoil. That's why I've combined 3 basic topics when discussing about this milk cooler. Let me open for you so that you can really appreciate how this milk cooler looks like inside. Milk inside. So this is where we open from. We open from here, we take it this way. Remember, this whole thing is computerized. This is our milk. What you see on top of this milk, this is ice. These are ice pack. These are ice pack. What you see there, I won't enter my hand inside here because maybe I have some bacteria where I'm just running from farm this department to this department so that I can give us knowledge. So when I open this milk cooler, you can see that that thing there behind, that one. This is for maintaining, making sure that is a sensor for regulating temperature to tell us what temperature is, because you see, once I've opened, it has started climbing. So that means the temperatures here have started climbing because of this air inside here. Another thing, you can see this thing here. This one rotates so that to prevent this milk from becoming solid, the whole of it. At least we have some droplets of ice pack, but we don't have full ice pack. This is how milk is stored here. This milk, like you see now, it is the temperatures have climbed up, so I have to close them instantly so that we don't disturb the temperatures here. So I was talking about milk cooler. That milk cooler, the way it is. So we really appreciate this type of this, because I told you the temperature should be maintained between 2 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. So guys, I'll tell you the procedure of putting milk inside this cooler. As you can see, the way we speak, the temperatures become decreases. So that means the temperature will decrease until we achieve the recommended temperatures for milk in the cooler. Because remember, these things are in default setting. So this one is just for turning machine. This one is just it has just been computerized. So for this, remember, this machine is in default setting when it comes. So this one is for switching on and off. Once I switch here, it will be off. Yeah, when you want to increase maybe your own setting, if you want to set another temperature, maybe for other things, you just touch here. Then if you want to increase the temperature to put it in default, you touch here if it is to increase, or if you want to reduce, you touch here to reduce. Then you press setting here. Once you press that, you will put another default setting for this machine. So I was trying to explain how we load milk to this milk cooler. Once the milk is out from there, we have weighed and the entire thing. Like here, we have milk here. We have milk here. After weighing and the entire thing, we will pour this milk here. We'll pour this milk here. After pouring this milk here, okay, we just open here this way. Then we pour this milk inside here. Then we close. After closing, we lock this machine this way. After closing that, then we lock it using this thing here. Sometimes it's because here it is a lot of security. When we don't have security, if we could not be having security here, we will be locking this one with maybe a padlock here, so that nobody comes here and contaminate our milk. Remember, I told you milk spoilage is very easy. Then after this, maybe once the people who are involved in taking this milk to the maybe dairy and the other thing, this milk now it exits through here. We put a gallon down here so that we open here, milk gets here, then it goes directly to where it is supposed to be. I'll take this practically because the milk has not been come from. Once they are here, I'll show you how we weigh this milk, how we take the other thing and everything, so that before going to where it is supposed to go. The vehicle will be here. Then I'll take those procedures from here to the vehicle there. After that, we are done with the farm level and the entire thing. After talking about cooler, I'm now going, let me sit because I've stand for so long. Let me sit next to this cooler. Now the topic that I'm going now to discuss is now about something about now milk spoilage. When I'm talking about milk spoilage, this is just about milking going bad. How do you know that milk has spoiled? One of the things that you know from spoiled milk is you just look at the odor, the smell. You feel like you know something spoiled. You can hear from, you can just smell, and you just tell this thing is spoiled. That is one of the way you can tell. Another thing you can tell is about the color, because once the milk spoiled, the color will change, maybe from whitish in color to maybe something brown or any other color. Another thing is about consistency of milk, because we know milk is like watery. When we pour it, is like watery, but when it is spoiled, it puts like same things like clothing. You see that it loses the consistency. Once the milk loses the consistency, so that means that milk is spoiled. And we have some factors that make milk to spoil. One of the things is about storage. When you put your milk in warm temperatures, it can get spoiled, because bacteria will multiply very fast, then it spoils. Another thing that we can talk about milk spoilage is about hygiene. Once you put your milk where it is not where it is not clean, remember, clean environment, it is bacteria free. But a dirty environment, actually these bacteria will multiply very faster to cause spoilage. Because remember, I've just said that spoilage of milk is something like a procedural. If you make this side, it encounters you this side. Even remember that milk spoilage starts from the cow itself. When the animal, let's say, has mastitis, you mix with milk that is healthy enough, that introduces the bacteria to the milk. The kind of bacteria that are found in the milk are like the Pseudomonas, Streptococcus. These are the bacteria that do these something like about spoilage. Another thing is about enzymes. Milk contains enzymes. Once these enzymes denatures, that's the end of that milk health, so it will spoil. So that's it about milk spoilage. So we have to make sure that milk is clean, hygiene is observed, and the entire thing cooling the way it is needed. Don't put your milk maybe for some time so that you can put it there on the milk. Just put it immediately after milking and the entire thing. Now I'm going to talk about milk adulteration. What is milk adulteration? Milk adulteration, this means this is unethical things done to the milk. Things that people do to the milk, so maybe to increase value in terms of cash. You see, when somebody says that because I've made 1 liter of milk, let me add water so that it can become 2 liters. So that means when you are putting those that water, you have already adulterated that milk. Immediately I add that water, so that means I've already adulterated that milk, so it won't be safe for human consumption. So some of the things that people do is, one of the things I've talked about, adding water, that is milk adulteration. Another thing about milk adulteration is just adding something like cream. Human made creams, maybe adding some butter fat content, maybe putting some blue bands in your milk. That's milk adulteration. Another thing that you can do about milk adulteration is just maybe putting some maybe sodium, not hydrogen peroxide, so that you can increase the preservation way of the milk. That's milk adulteration. So you have seen preserving your milk with any other chemical apart from a cooler, so that means that's milk adulteration. Putting a milk water, that's milk adulteration. Doing anything to milk so that you can increase the value of that milk in terms of money, that's milk adulteration. So it is not good to healthy, because you know this milk adulteration is, it will harm the human health. What do I mean by that? Imagine you putting water or putting those preservatives, so that something like hydrogen peroxide, you put them, or the other chemical, you put them to the milk. So this means this is not a pure milk. This milk is altered. When somebody consumes this type of milk, it means that it won't be safe. It will cause maybe liver problem, kidney problem, some other issues will be caused. So this is very dangerous to health and other things. Yeah? So make sure that you don't adult your milk. So we have some things that people do to test if this milk is adulterated. One of the ways to test this milk is we see that some people use something like lactometers. This is to test the density of milk. Remember, once you add water to milk, the density of milk will actually, the density will be interfered. Once you put the lactometer inside, it means the lactometer may either float or sink. Once you put water, the lactometer will sink. But once you put maybe something like butterfat content, the lactometer will float. So that means when you put butter content, it means that the density of milk will reduce. But once you put water, the density will increase. So that means the lactometer will the reading will be interfered. Yeah. So that's it about testing with the lactometer. Then we go demonstrating something about we have something like we call it alcohol gun. Alcohol gun is used to test the milk purity. Yeah? If you have had any preservative or any other thing, yeah? You can test that with an alcohol gun. I don't have an alcohol gun, but when one day I'll find it, I have to demonstrate that so that we can really appreciate how to use the alcohol gun. What we do by alcohol gun, it uses the principle of putting ethanol inside the alcohol, same volume of milk to the same volume of alcohol. Yeah, we have percentage of alcohol that is needed in alcohol. With putting that alcohol gun, you find that if the milk has stayed for long, it will break, because you can see that in some clients we usually complain about their milk tasting positive for alcohol. So this means any impurity, maybe from the cows, because like the client complaining, this means that he has to look about the nutrition of the animal, because which is being milk. Because once the milk break, it means the milk cannot withstand the thermal temperatures that are being conducted in the maybe the cooperative that maybe process the milk. It can break, it can become bad, so it's not safe to milk to process that milk. So that's why they're doing that alcohol test for milk, so that their milk does not break while they're in the superheats that is being found in the milk cooler, the milking where the milk is being taken to, and the entire thing. Yeah. Another way to determine if our milk has been adulterated is through the use of lactose scan. Yeah? Lactose scan is just a gadget that is computerized, and actually it can detect every other component of milk. That means it can tell you the percentage of protein, it can tell you the percentage of the butter fat content, it can analyze the entire thing about milk, even the water in the milk itself, impurities in the milk. It can tell you if this milk contains antibiotics, because you see this gadget, many people where processing of milk is being done, many of these companies actually use that, because it is able to detect everything concerning milk, including nothing. So, and apart from that, it can give you a receipt. Yeah? After giving you the whole information on the screen, you can print a receipt to justify that this milk contains this and this, and you can take that receipt to your client or where you got the milk from, so that you can just tell this person that this is the milk that you supplied me with. These are the components of this milk, because let's say an example, having a Ayrshire breed. Maybe Ayrshire in terms of butter fat content it is higher as compared to some breeds like let's say Frisian. Yeah, I'll have to show you some of the breeds of the animal that we have here, and it will be a full topic. Yeah, where I'll demonstrate to you one animal by one animal, telling you the characteristics of it, what the milk contains or comprises of what kind of milk and the entire thing. So I was telling you about milk adulteration. So lactose can, if you have a lactose can, for those farms that can actually have that lactose can, milk society which can have that lactose can, it will be of good help, because you will be able to analyze your milk well, and apart from analyzing you the milk well, and also you will get maybe the milk that you require, because maybe you may be wanting milk from maybe Ayrshire or Jersey, but a farmer chooses us to bring you for freshen. So you will be able to analyze that milk, know that this is the amount, this is the qualities of milk that I want, and with that you'll be good to go. So we have to put into consideration. So this milk adulteration is something that should stop immediately, because with this it is not healthy enough for our health. As we have seen, it can destroy us fully and entirely, because once you contaminate that milk with your own impurities, it is not safe for consumption. Yeah. So what I can say about milk adulteration, so if you know you have been doing milk adulteration, avoid that thing. Yeah, it is not good for human consumption. Imagine now somebody, let's say somebody or you personally, taking milk that has been interfered